Hi, welcome to Help from Haley. I'm Haley and I'm here to help you make Rice Krispie wedding cakes. They're so much fun, and if you remember from your childhood, everybody loved a Rice Krispie treat. When you put it on an occasion as important as a wedding, it just makes everyone feel like a kid again. It's so much fun, so I'm going to show you how to do it. I already have a Rice Krispie recipe, and I did a double recipe for these size pans. This is a 9 1/4 inch pan, and it's a double tier pan like this. So, and then the topper is a 4-inch pan. Now, if you go to helpfromhaley.com, I have this recipe with the exact dimensions and the amount of Rice Krispie treats that you need to make for it. We're going to take our pan and you're going to generously spray it. And then you're going to take your Rice Krispie recipe and just use your hands and put it on in here. And if you remember, you know, I think it's always fun when you get to use your hands when you're cooking. And you can tell I'm having a good time right now. And it just brings back all those memories. And that's what's neat when you're doing a wedding and such. It's just so nostalgic. And you think back, and this I did for a rehearsal dinner. And I'm telling you, everyone had so much fun with this. And I wanted the bride and groom to practice cutting into their wedding cake using this. There we go. We've got this nice and full, so we're just going to put it aside. And let me tell you, I had more people asking me, when do we get to eat the Rice Krispie cake? And I wanted to make sure that the bride and groom got a chance to get at it first, so I had to hold people back. But that's how popular it was, so lots of fun. Now we're just going to take our Rice Krispies and just put them out. And then this one that we just molded in this pan, we're going to loosen up, and that just goes right on top. So now you've got your 3 tiers of your wedding cake. We'll just put this aside too. Now, you think Rice Krispie treats are pretty neat. You think it's neat to put it in the form of a wedding cake. Okay, I've got a topper for you. We're going to cover it in white chocolate now. And I have some white chocolate. It's actually called almond bark. And you get it at any grocery store. I put it in this chocolate melter here, which makes it nice and easy, but this is microwavable. I tend to put chocolate on a lot of things. So this makes sense for me to have, but I'm certainly not asking any of you to go out and buy this. Just microwave that, stir it up, follow the directions on the back, and use it that way, and I think it's perfectly great. But if you use chocolate like me, let me tell you, this is a great, handy little gadget here. Okay, and then it's just like any kind of icing. If you've ever iced a cake, you're going to be a pro at this, because it's as simple as that. And we're just going to, and you don't need to be neat with it. Remember, Rice Krispie treats, they can take a lot. So, I'm not going to show you. If I show you anything that's kind of intimidating, I'll tell you ahead of time. This certainly is not. It just looks neat. But let me tell you, you're seeing the hardest part of it right now, and you can see it's a piece of cake. So when I was doing this, you know, I thought, well, what else could you do with this? And what a neat idea for a kid party. Just do their cake in this, and just use the size pans that meets your needs for how many guests you're expecting. So You know, just keep making Rice Krispie treats until you have enough. But I think any kid would love this as their birthday dessert. Or at least the topper. Okay. Now, on the ends here, there's a little bit of gaps from where, you know, the Rice Krispies weren't perfectly flat, which is natural because they're just a bunch of pieces kind of glued together with marshmallows. I think it looks pretty good, but if you can see on this display cake, I did do borders around here, and that just kind of makes it a little bit fancier. I don't think it's needed, but I wanted to show it to you so you can see just how simple you can do it, or, you know, how decorated you want to do it. Okay, we're good there. Now, if you want to do your border, you can just go ahead just move it around as you go. Now this icing that I'm using is also store-bought. I did get it at a cake supply store. And it's just decorator's icing. And I have seen them in some of the big stores too, the craft stores and such. So easily available. You can make your own icing. You can buy them. Even the little tubs, you know, that you get of your icing for your cakes, those would work really good. Okay, we're done with that. We'll put that right there. And then in the freezer, I have the bride and groom getting ready out for us. So I'm going to bring that out. Give me 1 second. And as you can tell, this mold was $3.49. I did have to go to a specialty baking supply store for this. But they had all sorts of different sizes and also every kind of theme imaginable. So just for the wedding themes, they had wedding bells, they had interlocking rings, the bride and grooms, and even funny ones. But then, baby shower, if you want to do this, they had carriages, they had babies. For birthdays, they had balloons and different things. And so don't let your imagination allow it to run wild, okay? Because you can do anything you want. Now all I did was I took this very same white chocolate or the almond bark that's melted down, and I poured it into these molds and just had it in the freezer for just a little bit, and they just unmold. I'm saying this was less than 15 minutes ago. So you have each side, and all I'm going to do is put a little more of the icing, and this is going to act like a glue for my two sides. And there you go. And you have your bride and groom. So we'll just put them right on here. Now, on this bride and groom, I went ahead and colored it a little bit. And what I did was I just used these powdered food colorings. And I have a whole bunch of different colors. The black one I used for the tuxedo. The gold one I used for the bride's hair. And I had the brown one for the groom's hair. And then for flowers in her bouquet, I just had various different flower colors. So I used pinks and reds and some yellows there too. So all you do, real simple, is just take a little bit of the color and you just brush it right on. And that's if you want to. I think the solid color kind of looks pretty classy, I think, but that's all you do. And just play with it that way for as long as you want, or not at all, whichever look you're going for. But here you go, your completed Rice Krispie wedding cake. Please enjoy. I am Haley from Help from Haley, and I appreciate you spending your time with us today. Bye-bye.